What's up, everyone? It's Cameron, and I want to talk about something that I struggle with, that I'm assuming a lot of you can struggle with, and for those of you out here who just found this video because of this topic, let's talk about it. I just want to talk about how hard, when it sounds ridiculous when I say it, but how hard it can be to work from home. Now, this may sound weird, especially if you're listening to it now, because right now it's August 30th, 2021. And, a lot of you just went through almost more than a year. If you're not still doing it, you did it for about a year. Working from home via Zoom, and for your jobs that sent you home and made you, work out of the office. I guess made you is the wrong word, but it was just better for you to work at home, away from other people. So this isn't necessarily about that, but I guess the same struggles can apply. But what I'm talking about mainly is somebody who is working from home with their own business, doing a side hustle online, whatever it is. So I guess as long as you fit in the work from home space, you might be able to relate to some of these things or have some good solutions for some of these things. But, let's just start with, it's hard to stay motivated. It's hard when you work where you relax, if that makes sense. It's crazy that, most of us work normal jobs. We go in, work. I don't care if it's food, an office environment, a retail situation. A lot of us go to a job and we hate it. I can't remember what the statistic is. It's probably wrong now, but I remember the last time I heard it, it was like 80% of the people in the US hate their job, which means that most of those people are probably working at a normal corporate job or for a business in their town. And some people love it. Again, it's not everybody, but I would say a majority of people show up and just don't enjoy their job. And for a lot of people, they'd be like, yeah, why would we? It's a job. I mean, we're not there to have fun. It's not like a party, But that also means they don't really enjoy what they're doing. And, a couple years ago or a few years ago, I don't even know when it happened now. I think it was in 2019. I quit my corporate job. I worked at a cell phone provider. I worked at one of the retail locations, and I had worked there for 7 years. And, I had been a salesperson, a technician who worked on people's phones, I was their operations person who handled their signing and their inventory and all that. I did the whole range of most of it. And, it wasn't fun. Nobody liked it. Nobody really enjoyed their jobs, even when they most of the time pretended that they did. And I had been working on my side hustle at the time, which was my video business that I now have. I co-own with a friend of mine. And, I got to the point where I took the leap, quit my job, and went all in on my business. And, that's still a work in progress. It's still growing, and it's crazy. I swear I work more doing that to get just as much or less as a result. But, the payoff is that I don't have to dedicate 40 hours plus a week somewhere. And, I have control, but, one thing you realize that you're losing when you move your job, which I knew ahead of time. Like, once I quit my job and do a side hustle, you don't have health insurance at that point, which is like a major perk of having like a corporate job. And, a lot of people have jobs like that just so that they can have health insurance for their family. Luckily, my wife and I are young. We don't have kids. And, we were able to make that decision and be okay with that, especially because right around then is when the tax requirements changed, where you didn't really have to have health insurance as of that year. So, or the year before that, I think. But either way, the trouble with working from home that I've been experiencing, and I'm sure everybody has different reasons, is just it is hard to stay disciplined. It's hard to, just have self-control with things. I work upstairs. This is my office. It's upstairs in my own house. And, I come in here for, looking stuff up or whatever, something I don't want to do on my phone. I do my YouTube channel from here. I do drop shipping from here, which is what most of my channel is about. But I also do my literal whole video business from here. I do all my editing here, talking to clients from here, Zoom calls through this camera even. I can hook it up to my computer and do, this is how I do my lives. So every single day I'm sitting in this chair doing something with one of my 3 main sources of income that make up my life, basically. So, my wife gets up, goes to work most days, and then I just shoot on up here. It's crazy, though, because you don't realize how hard it's going to be for you to just eat lunch regularly. Like I know I'm not a skinny person, but like it's crazy that you have to stay so disciplined just to like make sure that you're eating your meals because I'll get caught up in doing this, or I'll go downstairs and eat, and I touch my phone once, and then 30 minutes is done. 30 minutes goes by, and I'll let my dog out and go play with him for a second, and then another 20 minutes is gone, and then I try to find times to work out and get all my water in. I got trying to just drink as much water as possible, just because so many other little things start to just not become a priority because there's no structure. And I never thought there would come a day where I'd quit my job that I hated, and then not even 5 years later be like, man, I kind of just miss getting up and clocking in somewhere, knowing exactly what I'm supposed to do, and it leaves at the door. I leave it at the door when I leave that place and I come home. So when I'm just here to tell you, it's great working for yourself. It's so awesome. There's plenty of reasons why it's great. If my wife needs anything at work, there's most of the time, unless I'm at a shoot doing something for a client or whatever, I can just up and leave and go help her out. I can hang out with my business partner if we want to have a meeting just at last minute, whenever. I can literally choose to do nothing any given day and just play video games if I wanted to. That never happens, but you could, and you just struggle with finding that balance because, if let's say you have your own business or even this dropshipping stuff, if you're somebody who does that for my channel watching this still, kind of sucks because you'll get a message at just like a weird time of the night and you're like, damn, I want to respond to this message, but also I need to have work-life balance, and I'm sick of picking up my phone when I'm hanging out with my wife or my kids, whatever you got. So it's just crazy knowing that I traded stability for something that's more like freedom, but it's crazy how much you realize that you crave stability. So you try to create it for yourself, and it's a constant struggle to dial that in and figure out what's best for you. I still, every day I try to find time to work out, and I swear every single day I'm like, I'm just too busy for that today, which isn't true. If it was really a priority, I'd get up and do that first before, I get up early, but before my business partner's up, before most of the clients are even at work, because we work with a lot of businesses and stuff, I don't have to answer emails first, but they nag at me because I feel like every email is crazy important. And we live in this people-pleasing world that we have to constantly respond to people. So it's just really weird. It's hard because I use things like, I was talking to my business partner today with my video business, and we've got 14 plus video projects in the works. They're either currently being worked on or in talks with a business to get worked on. And what's crazy is, you think about that and it's 14 plus projects. Cool. That doesn't include photo sessions or weddings, which we also shoot for. And, about a third of those won't follow through. They'll be just people who emailed, we went back and forth, the ball got dropped on their end, and then they just are like, move on, business as usual, stuff happens, life happens. But the reason I'm looking over is because I have a whiteboard. I wrote all these things down to stay organized, and like the last time they were contacted, the time, who contacted who. And that's one thing I try to do is I have a whiteboard that I try to utilize in just whatever way I find convenient at the time. I use Trello, which some of you probably know about. This isn't an advertisement for them at all, but I use them because they have those little boards that you can use, and I use those for my daily tasks each day and keep track of information on them. And then, emails, searching my emails for constant, updates and backup information. It's just a lot. But if you're working a normal job, I still wouldn't go back. I'd still do this over that. It's just giving me way more freedom. But don't assume it's going to be perfect, because there are days where you're like, man, a normal job sounds so simple. But I would love to know what you guys who work from home. I know not all of you do. I know some of you are starting side hustles so that you can work from home, so that you don't have to work at a job. And I would love to know what your excitements are, so that, just because I'm curious. I'm sure it's the same things for me. If you do currently work from home, what your struggles are, what's the thing that productivity-wise just the hardest. I remember asking in the Facebook group recently, and for those of you who aren't Facebook drop shipping people, it's a drop shipping group, so if you're not interested in that, don't worry about it. But it was a Facebook group, and I asked not too long ago, what's the biggest killer to your productivity? And the answers are great. It's just our phones are a huge one. You don't realize how much time you're just wasting on your phone. It's just something we all know, something we all say we're going to do better at and then ignore and do crappy at it. But, there's some people that are just like, my kids, I work from home, I got kids. Makes sense. But also you work from home because you have kids, because it makes that easier too. So it's easier but harder at the same time. It just gives you more options. Some people are just like, I snack too much. I'll find myself leaving the room to go snack, and then I'll just get sidetracked and clean or something. And it just, you never know what's going to be your interruption to your day-to-day when you work from home, because there's just no clear boundary of when you walk into your office. And some of you may not even have an office. Some of you literally might be working in your bedroom at a desk, or on your bed on a laptop, or just in your living room at your coffee table or your dining room. Some of you probably don't even have that. At least I have an office that I can separate from, but my office gets cluttered like crazy because I use it almost as a storage room. And it's just, am I just complaining at this point about being able to work from home? Probably. But I'd love to know what you guys think about this topic, just your experience of it. Leave as long a comment as you want. I'll read it, get back to you. This is definitely a topic that I'm super interested in, to see what things you guys do to stay on top, and what sidetracks you. It's just productivity wise, and what you go through day to day with the working from home thing. So thanks for watching. That's all I'm going to talk about for now. No support part of the podcast if you want, or podcast. I always call it a podcast. It's not a podcast, it's a video. But I'll see you guys next time.